Or is losing Chronicle enough to change the tide?
It could well be a bridge too far. A player that has had his place at the top rung of the Valorant scene since very much the word get-go. Vitality, they look to carry Chronicle, carry Durka to victory against their former squad. The first victory for Vitality in this matchup, if they find it. And this BO3, honestly, coming in, I think this is their best shot. It's the strongest Vitality have looked coming into one of these matchups. To start, though, it's a bloodbath all in favor of Alpha.
Yeah, he has really been stepping up over the last couple of weeks. We talked about Vekaj and his need to almost try and not even just fill the gap, but be a part of this new squad. But the man who has really been stepping up, really been taking over these games, has been Alpha, yeah. And what a start, expecting the aggression. And with both of these teams previously playing the map, there is going to be almost a game of chess of who can pull off those aggressive swings, who can take that space. What I will say, though, is although it's a very big advantage early, the remaining two players are in the right place.
Gonna fall back here.
Still, I mean, this would be a sight hold to remember. They already know that one is here. Durka steps forward, gets out, Prophet with one, but so much more needs to be done. Those spams are doing damage.
They can go back.
Fnatic make it out. 30 seconds on the clock, and they can take this where they want. Still have Crashies close by to hear the steps as they rotate away. I'm not sure, though. They might have made it out of range. This rotate from Vitality gets them to the A site. Just ahead of Fnatic. Boaster could be in trouble.
Yeah, there's no going back now. They like to run it late, but it'll be a little bit too late if anybody was able to disrupt.
10 seconds
The fact is,
left.
though, they were just a little bit too slow. Boaster in position. It's a bit whiffy, but he gets the job done in the end. It is Fnatic to claim the pistol round with a patient start. And I'll be honest with you, I'm expecting more of the same.
Yeah, very much so. When it comes to that attack side, we know Fnatic like to take it nice and slow. And when off the bat, you've got your opponents pushing like that, well, you've already got that reward. Why not keep up that old style? That was a nice attempt, but in the end, no one really doubted Boaster, did they? An easy cleanup. It's round one. First, round one. But that's the thing. You know on that other side, you know if you're Durka, you know if you're Chronicle, this guy's going to be feeding a lot of energy out of this game. He's going to be finding himself on his feet every time the round goes his way, and you just got to sit on the other side of the stage and witness it.
So, obviously, Ginny likes to ask for predictions. I'm not going to give her the prediction she won. I'm, in fact, going to ask you, does Chronicle bark? That's the prediction I need from you, Mitch.
I see.
Do you think he will bark today?
Player standing.
You know what? I actually think Chronicle on his own, no, I can't see it. It's hard for me to imagine. But then I think about the power of Yumpy. He's an infectious leader. I think we might get at least. Yes, that he is. I think he might get one out of him today.
Okay.
If there's a big moment. I mean, you're against your former team. This has to be it.
Well, the end zone flawless is enough to get a very clean start off from Fnatic. Vitality is the only original partnership team remaining, which is crazy when you think about it. The players that they have had over the years. Nonetheless, this is where the buy comes through. This is where we see everything in place.
They smoked me.
Okay, I'm gonna play.
I'm gonna zone.
I can play with Chron.
Vice
Have it smoke, have it smoke,
mid,
Kevin.
smoke.
Yeah,
No, mine's feature.
Going back to A.
coming A.
I'm gonna reveal front side soon.
I TP it away. I'm backside.
Watching top side for you. I can't break it.
Nice.
I pick off you.
I'm coming CT also, guys. Are they out? Yes.
Wow. We had a little check-in with the Vitality. Voice comes as we move into this defensive side play towards the A site that's now being cancelled. Fnatic send this back in the other direction towards B, which is wide open from what we can see, but they're taking the time. The brakes have been pumped, 50 seconds on the clock, and really now it's Vitality left guessing. They don't know where this hit's coming in anymore.
Yeah, a little bit of probing from Prophet, looking to try and find where this push is coming in. We know Fnatic, we know they like to leave it to the very last second, but with the spike on that side of the map, and now a spot onto Boaster, they could still run it back in the other direction. In fact, there is an opening. Only Yumpy still on that side of the map. In fact, everybody has been pulled over, but now the realization is there. Althea takes control, but almost caught. Lucky to still have his head. They will, however, get into the post plant with a matter of seconds on the clock.
Yeah, the time's going to bleed really low, but Vitality have nothing to cancel, nothing to get out there and cause problems, and don't want to just throw themselves at this. The man advantage there for the defense, but Fnatic know that. They're playing aggressive, playing up close, looking to punish them as they come through the choke point, and already the numbers to even, but Crashy's forced into the fight. He wins most, and Vikash is there to pick up the final pieces. A 3-0 start for Fnatic, and if this is Vitality's chance to change history, it's certainly not off to a good start. This was the map we expect them to look dominant on.
But this is always the thing when talking about Fnatic, when talking about them in comparison to other teams, is no matter who is on the roster, you go back all the way to the beginning. You go back to 2020 and the pieces that were on the squad with Boaster, and it didn't matter. This man was still able to pull off victories with his calls alone, and this round is sublime. Like, he gets them into that site with no one on it, with seconds left to spare. And you can expect to see more and more of that, and Vitality's job is almost to try and figure out what they're doing. But it may mean that eventually they stop gambling players over, and then you have weaker sites.
And see, Vitality want to get aggressive through that smoke, and when they do,
not fast
it
enough.
was supposed to be just for information. Quick shot by Kayak, and again, you don't really get much from that. The fact that Fnatic are playing slow default against an eco, yeah, you'd kind of expect that. Now you're a player down. And the question is, do Vitality have another bit of aggression up their sleeve? Or will this be a bit of a gamble play, hoping to catch the hit as it comes in? Problem is, they're going off the information that's being given to them. The drone towards B has dragged the rotates. Meanwhile, Fnatic will walk into a wide open A site, and what should have been an easy pickup now, quite a problem brewing. Okay, Dirk has got himself one, back to a 4v4, and the retake now has a rifle.
I think it's about to be lost.
Well, it had a rifle.
Who's expecting Crashies to still be in spawn? This was Boaster's spot in the past. This was his position that he used to just hold, and Crashy likes a little bit of a 4K to close the round. 4 standing as well for Fnatic. The credits flying at this point, and well, I do wonder how long it will take for a Vitality pause.
Not much longer. A lot of people would even want it coming into this buy round, but if this one doesn't go their way, it has to be just around the corner. This is the map that this is the map that Vitality chose, that they looked so good on it. If I'm not mistaken, and indeed I can see it, it was the attack side last time that brought them so many rounds, 12 in a row.
Same for Fnatic versus Foot, 10 and 2, so both should be better on the attack.
Indeed, exactly. But, well, we don't want to see a lights-out performance from either, to be honest, in this series. This is one that I come into today expecting to go to 3 maps. I expect it to be a brawl, but so far, it is a slaughter in favor of Fnatic, and it ain't changing. Nice pick by Crashies, but really a great flash from Vikash.
Yeah, it feels like Chronicle was not ready for that one. We've spoken a lot about the veto and how individually he was able to really pop off last time that they played, but so far, 0-5. Up against his old team. We know that even though, of course, there's a battle to make it into the middle final, there will also be blood in the game for the ex-players and the players whose teammates have left. But for Chronicle, this is almost the nightmare start. Durka, he's going to try and turn the tide already under serious pressure. The swing a little bit behind because of the slow. He's done fantastically well in this moment. And Durka coming alive is enough to grab Vitality their first round.
You got a nail on the head there. That slow, that hinder that was thrown through was absolutely perfect. Nobody could move in. At that point, you know, I like the dash. I like the idea from Kayak to try to get behind him so he's not caught and just stunned up in the open. There's the flash. Beautiful to start this round out. Yeah, despite that, it was Durka holding the line that's given them this chance. 4-1. We talked about potentially needing a pause if the round didn't go their way.
I don't hear you, hello!
But as you can see, there's no need to touch base with the coaching staff.
I feel like I almost need to just shut up in between rounds. Like, there's nothing I can say that's more entertaining than going between Boaster and Yumpy. It's going to be a battle for the ages, and hopefully that's shown in the scoreboard as well. Of course, for Fnatic, no harm done in terms of finances just yet. Blade Storm online for Kayak, and after what was a lot of very aggressive starts to the early rounds from Vitality, they have sort of stemmed that a little bit. I think being caught off by the slow pace of how Fnatic like to play. they have also fallen back and gone, okay, you can walk around for a bit. We'll be waiting on the site.
And waiting they will be. And the gate crush has been sent towards the A site, but you can still see Yumpy is close by. Durka, he's going in for the info, and that is a lot seen. They now know all the eggs can go in this basket. 45 seconds, still a chance for Fnatic to go back, and in fact, a lot of ulti's going to be committed to this immediately. Hunter's Fury from Crashies to try to counter back when Durka had put the slow through, but Durka's still standing on the side, has to be dealt with. It's Kayak to drop him. Now, foothold is gained by Fnatic, but yeah, Yumpy doesn't want to overstay his welcome. Equalizes the numbers, and takes that gate crash. The retake now the goal.
A lot of ults very close to being online. A singular kill for Vekaj or Alpha. That's either abilities or weapons completely gone. On the other side of things, a dimensional drift, a Hunter's Fury that could just turn the tide. This first pick really feels like it might just be the deciding factor of the round, and it's, again, very, very passive from the side of Fnatic. They are happy to work off these post plants, work off the time utility, looking to be denied defusal. Wow, it's just going to be easy in the end. Never mind. Chronicle, he's woken up. First couple of kills onto the board, and Vitality, they've got 2 rounds.
You know, going into that 3v3, I'm thinking, oh, there's no Hunter's Fury online anymore. It was used to entry, but to good effect, and it will be helpful, but they have so much time to play with here, and they're playing perfectly. So far back, so passive, not offering duels before that spike is touched. And yet, when push comes to shove, it is a staggering success for Vitality, for Chronicle.
Good blind, come on!
And of course, Yumpy on his feet, giving it right back. Fnatic's lead closed down to a 2-round gap, and their economy on its last legs.
Again, still couple of ults to play with, but everything has been building up in the meantime for Vitality. Other than that convergence path, everything sits online. Yumpy will be able to deny the knife, and with his gate crash now expended, he is going to have to send another one just to have that early escape. Of course, still has his ult, so in reality, he could even stick around a little longer if he wanted to. Instead, though, Fnatic again, just pushing, probing, spotting if anybody's got aggressive. But as said, Vitality have been quite happy to fall back, and with now Chronicle deep within the site, he's almost just sitting waiting for any form of execution where he can deny their utility, and if needed, even evolve, which he has.
Yeah, change up could catch him off. Kron. We saw him go aggressive towards A main and find nothing. This smoke up's definitely going to make you think that that's what you're facing on the other side. The chance for Fnatic to just flash through as their own blooms. In fact, it's going to be the drone. No flash. Wide swing coming in. Vekaj just playing a risky game. Not punished just yet. The wall goes up, saving them from those first shots. And here's the flash, but Kron, of course, not blinded. Gets himself a double, but the rest are still standing. Fnatic have made this into a 3v2, and they've got post plant.
Yeah, they don't have main control, though. The quick rotation from Yumpy was available because of that Cosmic Divide. They are watching, or at least one was, and Crashies almost used his teammate as bait. Now it's left to Profek, and he is not ready for Alpha yet. They came up against a lot in that round. Cosmic Divide, Evolution, and a Dimensional Drift, and it did not matter.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you go into that push with Chronicle standing his ground, finding that space around the back of the site. I mean, he almost got one there, but yeah, indeed, the entire plan to flash through falls apart. You think when he stood there, but that trade from Crashies, he immediately follows up on and is then there to clean up main afterwards. What a round from him. This one should not have gone to Fnatic, and I think Vitality know that. They called a pause.
Yeah, I think they had a couple of rounds back that sort of delayed this a little bit, but the way the early game started, and I think has been a brilliant replacement, or as good as you could get, I'll be honest.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, it's hard to find someone with as much experience as Desmo as well to fill in, so they did very well there. For Vitality, 2 rounds on the board. The last one, a bit of an upset. A big play by Crashies, not his first in this series, and it probably won't be his last. Although if Vitality have something to say about it, it certainly will. Oh, the spams, well, they're actually going the way of Chronicle there to start, but they don't get too dangerous.
Snare destroyed.
With a minute 20 on the clock, the slow play from Fnatic not being met with any aggression on the other side. The Vitality very, very patient at the moment, despite the last round.
Yeah, it has been very interesting though. I feel like the rounds where we've seen both teams sort of expend a large amount of ultimates have actually been the rounds that they've lost. We've seen those big individual plays turn on their head. And once again, it seems to be Vitality trying to figure out any information. The drone going through onto middle, but in the meantime, the attack side are already putting pressure into B and taking middle control at the same time. This is going under the noses of opponents, but they slow it back down. Almost sell this like before, okay, last time we did this, this was a ruse, it was a fake, now it's the real thing.
Hunter's Fury sent in, Unfake not gonna find his mark, and Profec's gone down. This has become uncomfortable, but then Unfake lands. Kayak down, there's no need to jump the gun here for Durka. You can play that bit more passive, especially with Util guarding him, but wait for the rotations to come through. Again, I think this patience from Vitality has been there. You never see these guys looking for those individual fights, waiting for the teammate to back them up. The Cosmic Divide, oh, I like that. Divide is up and immediately there's shock darts, there's nades going through, assuming they'll at least get the jump on the players on the other side. But when the dive comes in, oh, Vakaz cleans them up! Fnatic push up to 6, and guess who's on his feet again?
No, he's got Vakaz with him now. He's getting him on his feet, and I like that. The protocol is just looking fantastic from Fnatic, like having that immediate setup of anti-flash, knowing that there's going to be utility coming through from the other side and just ready to pop straight out while his teammates sort of take the bait from deeper angles.
What a flash. My goodness.
Nice!
6-2. Another stellar attack side building for Fnatic, and well, if you were looking for answers from Vitality, this is probably not the round.
Yeah, it shouldn't be. I think for Fnatic so far as well, with how they've been playing, I think, well, you heard it there in the comms as well. We've already talked about Vakaz's flash. I think it was Alpha's Rose that ended up catching them as they pushed out to site. And really, for this squad right now, it feels like everything's slotting into place. Although, as we said, this is the attack side. It's where we saw Vitality put up 12 rounds in a row. We saw Fnatic put up 10. We know that this is where both teams should thrive. And so for Vitality, you start to ask, how many rounds is enough? I mean, in the moment, it's looking clean, but they have only got the pistols. Let's not forget.
Yeah, again, though, from the attack side.
Right here.
I was going to say it depends how many you lose, but now things get a little bit more interesting. Potential for some weaponry.
Gun here.
Profec has at least been able to claim one, but the problem is the other side of the map has been completely taken. A plant already down, and from the Vitality side, it's like, okay, a full retake from this position, odds are very low, but holding on to a singular rifle when you can already buy next round, yeah, it almost seems like you might as well go for this.
An Outlaw recovered as well. The chances for damage certainly quite high. We are getting towards the end of the half as well, so difficult for that to have impact. How many can they get is the question. Boaster, well, he's spotted both, and he's taking a shot for it. Vakaz is going to be stepping towards them as well. It gets to the point, honestly, as we
one enemy remaining.
Hit the kind of final few rounds that even just taking those orbs, like for Unfake, he's 2 away. He's guaranteed by the end of the half that you'll have that Hunter's Fury back online. And that was one of the pieces that gave them a pick in one of the earlier pushes.
Yeah, the problem is, most of the time, any orb you take is an orb gained by the opposition as well. So it's kind of like, I think Vakaz is now a couple away from
2 away
having the null command. So it's all building back up. And thus far, I don't feel like the ults have actually been a massive turning point in this game. I feel like we had a couple of
utility.
Yeah, there's been a couple of like individual plays that came out from the Vitality side, the big play from Durka. But other than that, this really has been the Fnatic show, which, considering this is the map choice of Vitality, is a little bit damning.
There we go, that utility sent through. We said how good it's been for Fnatic. Well, it's already been taken out of play. Chronicle immediately negates it, but it didn't look like they were looking to push on the back of it. I think that was a sacrifice. Let's get rid of that utility early, and now he's got to face our util.
Yeah, we don't want to lose our drone. The drone's, if anything, the most valuable piece, so don't want to send that first. You still also don't want to go walking into the crosshair of Chronicle. Kayak gone. Site is going to be taken, though, and you mentioned it before. Crashies last time used that ult for the entry. And now they've evened things up. So in the post plant, that Hunter's Fury is going to be perfect.
Oh, they've lost Boaster, and a bit of post plant goes with that. Hunter's Fury sent through, though. That was why. It was an aggressive stance instead. No, they don't want him denied the defuse. They don't want you anywhere near that spike. But still, Vitality press on. Yumpy and Unfake still drawing breath, but Crashies around the back, waits for contact from Alpha. This is going to be a deadly double swing, and Crashies deals death to the first, and Shirley has bought enough time. That clock so low already. Alpha just needs to play with his food, avoid being the early pick, and there it is. Ooh. Nicely done. Even with a sliver of health, the clock will decide this fight. And Fnatic push to 8.
Extending that lead ever further. They're really going to be testing the bounds of how good that Vitality attack side will be, but also, again, like we've seen this from Alpha here, just left alone on an island at times. He's the one to get the first kill for Fnatic. He's the one to get the last as well. Like just being in that backline, being an irritation and a consistent backstab all the way through.
Crawling, crawling. Bro, I was holding backside. Why are you not picking?
Oh, he's throwing out some criticism as well.
He's really feeling the pressure today, as you can see.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Very stressed.
Got to uphold their flawless record against Vitality, and yeah, people are guessing in the background. It could cause Boaster to lose a few hairs.
Yeah.
He's been quiet.
From watching Boaster do vetoes in the past, there is no point trying to ever mind game him. It is a waste of time.
This is again, same thing. Utility goes out, the cancel from Kron. It's going to run the clock down, but this time there's another layer to it. There's aggression coming through. Yumpy, big risk player to his left, but he gets out. The drone sees him on the scene of the crime, but just as quickly, he's on the backside. And the numbers thinning out for Fnatic. Sure, one for Boaster, great, but that mid-control, it might open the avenue to rotate back. They need so much more, and it's being held on the cross. It's an op looking and locking down the angle Boaster was looking across.
That's the problem. You have so many backstabs that eventually your opponents are going to start looking, especially when they have an advantage. And for Vekash here, he's been great so far. This is asking a little bit too much. Now, they do have credits. It's not the end of the world if he was to lose his rifle. But for Vitality, it's an important piece, an important marker that, okay, maybe we still do have the great attack side, but we at least needed a few rounds to make sure we don't just lose to a pistol.
Exactly, right? That little bit of extra wiggle room to play with. There it is, yeah, the flick over.
You're being what?
And they might have spotted him, but the trade, impossible. It's just too quick getting out of there. And I love that as well. Like, we've seen this already. The willingness of Fnatic to go slow towards that site, bait your util, wait for it to go away, and then hit. So they say, okay, while they're waiting, I'm going to push in, take my pick, get out. Beautiful work from Yumpy, well executed. And a 8-4 half still possible for Vitality. With the attack side we know is likely to be coming up, that's just fine.
One suppressed.
Well, very early knife thrown out, but it is just a bait. All 5 players, maybe for the first time in this entire map, all set up on one side of the map. And in fact, that's Yumpy now with no utility. Portal not available to save him. And he's just going to have to try and retreat and fails. That's the whole site under the control of Fnatic. We talk about those pace changes, those blips from those slow rounds we love to see, or some do. And this change has made it so difficult for a break back, but that's a big Hunter's Fury.
That's Alpha down. That is as well going to be when Vitality look to push into sight. That flash from Alpha has been so annoying, just holding it for the right moment. Now that's not an option, and they lose a bit of their ability to fight towards the back. That ult finds nobody. The stun, though, is good. Profek and Unfake fall on the way through. Durka does his best to pick up the pieces, but it's in tatters on the floor. 9-3 for Fnatic. A solid opening half in this series.
Oh, incredible stuff coming out from them. Crashies 16-6. And we are going to be off to a player feature with the man himself.
Your body knows.
A pretty rough year in VCT, but my God, he has looked so comfortable on this roster, and I think proved me wrong probably day 1, if not day 2.
Oh, you've seen it here. Vitality are the slowest team. So if you thought that last half was slow, lock in.
130.
It's looking pretty quick. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, 130, and they've already made it all the way through mid, deep into the spawn, and it might be one of the quickest attack sides we see. Maybe just for the pistol, and to start, It's Fnatic
Spike
with
down
flying colors
A.
finding themselves the advantage and the spike. Chronicle having to give up control fully. They have taken the site at least, but that's not going to be a comfortable fight going that deep into the spawn.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is one of the worst places you could possibly drop the spike, so it's going to be very rough to get this back. Alpha even watching in case anybody tries to take a wider angle. Smoke's in position.
Stars back.
Can Unfake steal it? Can he steal it? Yes, he can. He's managed to get the spike.
Alpha's going to strike, though.
Goes forward into position. It's a little bit awkward. Actually, Alpha has come out, I'd say, worse for wear.
Chronicle does well, but yeah, back to a 2v3. Alpha very, very low, but so too is Prophet. This has to be a big performance from Unfake, and oh, he's caught down below. A waterfall washes him away, and Vitality, they stay on 3. Fnatic pushed to double digits.
Yeah, this is now where you really have to worry, because even if you believed in, like, okay, the attack side was impeccable versus GX, like they were pulling off crazy rounds that almost made things look easy, you're now far enough down that you're gambling on Fnatic not winning a round or two on their defense, which, I don't know, I'm not really in that camp at this stage. Of course, I think going into Bind, it's not like it's a done deal by any stretch, but I do think that if it does close out quickly, Vitality are going to have that chat backstage of, okay, we need to reset now, otherwise they will be down to that last life, and Fnatic will be the one in the middle bracket final.
Now seeking an 11th, that it shouldn't be too big of a challenge. The Vitality, they go together. The pack mentality, use their numbers to hopefully overwhelm this A site. Now,
Both duelists.
2 duelists.
Bit of a giveaway.
One can rotate, so, you know, maybe it's a fake. You never know, especially on the pistol. For now, at least, yeah, Vitality are going to take it slow. They expected in a round like this. But if they go back towards that B site, Tom, that's going to be the worst one to push into dry.
Yeah. You've not only got to try and get past the wall initially, it's not great, but then also the thorns, which is also not great.
And the flash out wide as well. That's going to, if you try to take that left side, you're blind as can be. No chance.
Well, we'll see. You never know. Maybe they've got a really good set game plan of how to get past. Now, for 2 of the players, they can get past all the utility except the flash. Well, MP's now kind of trapped in a corner. They know he's here, maybe expecting him to fall back, but there is the flash.
Yep. Really nice stuff. Using the thorns to contain that space as well. Alpha Air full mastery over this battlefield, or so it seemed. Kayak good for 1, and what should have been an easy round still under threat as he falls. Fails to get out. Profek up close. SMG damage done, but it's not enough. Crashies closes the round for Fnatic, and 11 on the board. It's do or die time for Vitality. And Tom, this is their pick with Bind up next. Fnatic have got to feel like they're on cloud 9.
Oh, I hope not. We don't talk about that. 11-3. Yeah, they are truly running away with this. Crashy's also just playing out of his mind. Like, every time something's got a little bit dangerous, so you go, okay, that's shaky, that's worrying. Crashy just walks in like it's another day at the office. 18-7 right now. We talked about the boots that needed to be filled, but I'll be honest, it seems like the shoe already fit. Okay, see you later, Beckash. Nice start to the round. It was only a judge. This, however, that's a rifle on the ground. An early couple of picks. Looking like a done, timing a little bit off, but Kayak had to correct through a smoke.
Yeah, I mean, it's a round to take risks, right? Especially when you've already got players down. Really unlucky for Vikash to just be spammed straight through the box, but you know, when it is a bonus round, they expect you to take those risks, expect you to take that deep control in A main. And when that smoke goes up, yeah, there's no chance they're not spamming it. 11-3, likely to turn to 4, but this is the round that Fnatic invest next to nothing in. I mean, you saw it. It was a bookie on Vikash when he was trying to get in that corner. When it comes to the next round, it should be a different story. But for now, this is the course correction we wanted to see from Vitality. We didn't want a close round. We didn't want too many players falling, and it has to look convincing, and at least for now it does.
Chance for a little bit of damage. Alpha is going to be the last second peak, but it is being watched for. And it doesn't matter too much for him. He gets to keep the rifle into the next. At least a response from Vitality, a must-win round. But this has to be the start of a streak. It has to be the start of a streak all the way to map victory, or with one single defeat that would take them to OT. It seems very, very unlikely.
Now we wait.
Now, they have done it once, but I'll be honest with you, my expectations of Fnatic are a little higher.
Yeah, and then right now, Crashies is having a game. It feels like in half the rounds we've had to highlight him, and pretty much none of it for utility. He's just dominating as an individual. For Vitality, it's been difficult to find the answers, but...
He heard you. He's going to hold this shock dart for the whole round now.
Get that utility damage in. I'm not saying his utility was bad. I'm just saying shooting was so good that it overshone
Sounded
it.
like what you're implying.
It was overshadowed by how good he was
He
individually.
insults the Odin, you become a hater. Well, it seems
He had
like
it coming. He knew, he knew what he was doing.
I'm drone. Still not seeing anything. It said, like, the slowest team to plant. And a lot of that was patience. Even still, though, if you look at the pings on the map, it still seems like there's awareness of potential danger. For now, though, it's just been checks coming out from the Fnatic side into mid every once in a while, but they are happy to just almost hold on to the cross and let that time tick down.
35, yeah. I mean, they have earned the toast from earlier that highlighted that they are an incredibly slow
30
team.
seconds left.
As we get to 25 seconds, they have not put a single foot towards the site. Now, finally, they will start to come in, but this has got to be quick and clean. 20 seconds on the clock. Wall goes up. Good fight for Alpha already, and the rest are delayed behind it. 12 seconds. I mean, that spike needs to make it to the site. Vitality, the slowest, but perhaps too slow. Trying to play Fnatic at their own game. 6 seconds. The spike plant not going to be found, and kills not going to be the way this is decided in Vitality's favor. Fnatic 12-4, and
Match point.
well, it looks like Vitality let that clock run a little bit too low before going for the push, especially into the site where Vice is.
I was going to say, like, you know he's there. It's not like this is the first time that they've had Alfia on that side of the map. And
It's not a new wall either.
No,
It's the same wall that's been there.
It's the exact setup they walked into a couple of rounds ago. And for Alfia, I feel like he's almost going to be sat there laughing. Like, okay, you're going to...
How Fnatic are playing.
We'll see if some wise words have been had. Maybe Scott had the secret formula and all has been revealed. Probably not, but you can dream.
I mean, probably not.
You think he has...
Say 50-50.
Okay.
Either he has it or he doesn't.
Yeah, fair. It said, colossal mountain to climb on your map choice. Fnatic looking primed to make the middle bracket their own, and Vitality might just be a piece in their story. One that they have never struggled with all the way through. The warm-up battle, it almost seems at this point. They are going to get into the site. The spams they have to be careful of. A lot earlier on the clock this time, surprisingly. A minute left to plant.
And an opening pick, and a second, and a third. Okay, well, that one should pretty much lock in a fifth for Vitality. Boaster and Alpha might already be thinking about the save. The credits are not looking too healthy, and yeah, you see them turn tail. Okay, nice response from Vitality, and who would have known? Playing that a little bit quicker has worked out. I will say that they were unlucky as well in some previous rounds, where even in the one where they go towards B late, they baited the rotations to B. A was practically open with one player defending both it and that rotate through mid. So they played the map right, but they just guessed wrong. And then playing into the Vice utility as well. Obviously, it was just, I think, a mistake from the get-go.
Oh. A more direct approach. Maybe that's the call. Just keep things a little bit more simple. Go in for those A-side takes. Spend less time trying to outbrain your opponent and maybe work on out-aiming, and that worked in this round, but it's whether or not that is a quick fix, a hot fix, or whether something that will work for a streak of rounds in a row. Of course, I don't think anybody believes that this series is over, and of course you also have to bear in mind that Fnatic have been letting big leads slip. That has been a large part of their build-up in this event. With OT losses coming through, the close victories as well at the same time. And a lot of those coming from mass advantages. So we do still look at Fnatic, but this is kind of looked like a different beast today. It's not just been clutch rounds, it's not just been one player dragging them through, although Crashies has been very good. It has been controlled almost from start to finish.
Flash.
That's aggression from Kayak. They've stepped back from it. Now they won't be blinded when he rounds that corner, and that dash blocked by the box, but luckily he still makes it out. Vitality, a minute now on the clock. And a lot of ultimates to play with. The question here, is it going to be Durka or Unfake the combo? And it will in fact be Unfake, sent through with one pulse. And the shots, well, it looks like they've dodged them all. And now the ground well slows them with Kayak doubling up. Fnatic, they've got barely anything put into this round, but somehow they're fighting back, beating Vitality into a pulp in those first fights, and now the playing field
It's just taken over.
More level. In fact, now tipped firmly into Fnatic's favor. Kayak jumping around, somehow saved by Boaster, and this is it. The map is done. Fnatic have destroyed Vitality on their own pick now. They've got Bind up next. Team B, in fact, Vitality, the only team that want to start out first. They don't care if you get to choose the last map. They'll beat you on anything. Except Abyss, apparently, if
it's
you're
also
Fnatic.
interesting because then you ban first, right? So it means that, like,
you give them a lot of choice.
They then go, oh, well, I know that that's gone, so I get to choose. I can see why people would normally go in the other direction, but hey, each to their own. Having the first map choice might have been something they didn't want after how it went. It's not gone fantastically well. They do have this trap set up, though, ready and waiting. The trap has been sprung. Unfortunately, the guy that was meant to swing on it is dead.
Yeah, and even then, what is Unfake supposed to do there? Flash and peek around the corner after the Yours TP'd back and the other players are far back on long playing anti-flash who swing you and kill you, and now it's a 5v3. I think it's the right call, Flash and bail on out of there, but, you know, already a leg up for that attacking side, and the B site so passively defended. No salvos for Yumpy, like he can't even disrupt plant. This is going to be a hell of a hold, but I like this. Okay, if he's playing outside of the site, they are forced into a pretty tough retake, but having this little bit of extra map control that Yumpy's jumped up into in Hookah, that could change things.
Yeah, but it's something they're well aware they do not have. Special delivery thrown out, but not going to delay them too much. Sight is under their control. It allows for a faster rotation at least, and it seems like they're already on the hunt, trying to kill off Vekash, but they will fail. In fact, he takes all three. What? They knew he was there, and even still, an in-zone flawless. Never put him on Jet again. Never, ever, ever again.
He's so good on Viper, man, but I mean, Viper is the reason that he's in this position on the map at the time he is, but they saw him running back towards short. The immediate turn from those players who TP'd, from Yumpy, who was previously playing the site, they say, okay, give him the site. They're singing, man. That's got to be an awful thing to look across the stage and see.
That's worse than being shouted at.
Yeah,
way
100%.
Worse.
You just see him vibing, dancing. But this is the thing, yeah, for Vekash, the fact that he gets 3 when they turned their sights on him. They said, screw the site, we're killing that guy, and then we'll fight after. And they didn't even get close. Nice shot for Kayak, and he's out. Vitality can't do anything. Yeah, 21 HP left on Yumpy. That's unlucky.
Wow. Something tells me they're probably going to go B on the Fnatic side.
Okay. Talk me through that.
They've seen them all.
Okay, I like that.
That's about it, really.
Actually, you are lying. They heard them. There was a Viper wall up.
Oh.
They heard them TP.
They could have sent through a load of those clones they don't have.
Yes, true. Got to be wary of that.
Boombot actually decided to stand on its own 2 legs for once and make a louder noise through the TP. No, they know exactly where they are. And realistically, for Vitality, you don't want to just give orbs over. You don't want to give over another to the Viper's Pit or the Orbital Strike. You go back years and years, and the same story is there, that Fnatic are post-plant rats. They always have been. They are the guy that you hate playing against in ranked, because every single one of their players has some form of disgusting lineup, except, but you know, Kayak could still have a lineup, just not in the way that you're thinking. And for now, he wants extra orbs, and will claim 2.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the end of the world. Poor Crashies can't catch up with them in time. And 2-0 we go for Fnatic. 4 players left alive. And a solid start to this map as well. This is what we want to avoid if you're a Vitality fan. Hell, if you're just a Valorant fan, you don't want this to be a 2-0 blowout. And after that first map, we're definitely in that territory. I heard on the desk, Billy was saying, maybe Unfake will be uncomfortable on that Sky. Pretty much, there's one agent we want to see him on. But when it comes to the Flash there, his play, can't criticize it. No faults just yet, but he did get shot through the smoke. Hopefully he has a bit of a lookier time in the next few rounds. And folks, you know what? Let's sit in with them for a moment. Let's take a look at some of the in-game comms from Vitality during this round.
Pop. No one.
Nothing.
Okay. Angel B.
You can take
Just take it together. Fuck it. We'll pick.
one.
Oh,
Two
Kaka.
people.
I'm moving.
Hey, molly garden.
Maybe hook at
One
the
set the big
smoke side. Kron, can you wall up zone?
Yes, running up now, boys.
It is fake,
They're
but
not
they
out,
used
they are
two-
not out.
They used two smokes, guys. And Viper molly CT.
Taking belong. Leave.
Okay.
They are in hook.
I
I
go
see the
side,
exit,
I
guys.
go. Hold down, boys, hold down.
The smokes are gonna fade.
Yeah, I'll play with my flash.
I smoke belong.
Hook up Brim. It's a B exec for sure, guys. I check. Can we flash a bit?
I need
Nice.
the under. I need the under.
And here we go, the exec coming through. They certainly knew it, but Vitality, oh my goodness! They react splendidly with everything picked up. Durka, Yumpy, hold strong. And yeah, they knew the hit was coming in, but I expected a bit more trouble on their hands than that.
Yeah, it's quite funny because after the last map, you could see how much almost Yumpy is solidifying that this is a B hit when it clearly looks like one, just because they were fools so much when it came to Abyss and the quick switches of Fnatic. Of course, a bit more of a bonus round. So
Easy free assist, easy free assist.
he's back.
It's always nice.
okay, but-
Pop that wall up. And he's got the assists lined up 1, 1, and 3. There you go. Well, poor Kron, you know, we looked at the last map as well. We highlighted him a lot. We said he was going to be doing a ton. And he had a tough time against his former team. He was going to carry through to this map. Kayak already under pressure. And it was Chronicle pushing him down, but despite him being blinded and forced back, all that they get on the side of Vitality is the map control. Valuable, but there is a fight brewing for whoever makes the mistake of stepping forward. My God,
not again!
It just can't be this good!
Yeah, I feel like there's going to have to be a new strat of don't walk into the angle that Vekash is holding, because it seems like that is instant death. Similar to the old school shout of avoid CNED, I feel like Vitality have to avoid Vekash. This could be another round that it almost feels lost already. Now, they do have 2 players on the right side of the map. Fnatic maybe expecting a reaction to stack up that B site. Instead, Durka still remains.
I mean, they need big pickups for this to be worthwhile.
More?
From that defensive side. Yeah, I mean, picks here. No roster changes. The time being run down, though, is nice. This is making it doable. But Fnatic are now ready on both sides. Kayak's got that control towards the bathroom. Getting around there to deny that plant is going to be very tough indeed. Vikash making damn sure of it. And Crashy's by his side, the man who was dominating the duels in the previous. It will be closed out at 3-1 for Fnatic. Vitality left looking for answers.
Yeah, I think they're going to be left looking for Vekash. Like, it's just madness. Like, they are trying
looking for Vekash. I don't want to find him.
Just, as I said, it felt like the round was done from that moment. Like, you have to gamble, and they had players in the right position, but still so much utility available for Fnatic to play with. Like, if you go into a full X cut, even if all 3 players are there, you should still come out on top. And almost a immediate reset back. Obviously, it was a decently clean round in the last for Vitality, so that does mean that they come in with 4 rifles. But it also leaves them with a Bucky.
Ready.
It's a really passive smoke. It's the orb, of course, going up there towards B long. And for Vikash, that's just robbing information out of the hands of Vitality. They had to send their dog down already to try to grab that bit of information. They see no one waiting there. Prowler's coming out on A. Like, this is a tough one for Vitality. There's presence being shown across the map, and we can see that if they try to respond, like, okay, B long and A short are being pressured, let's push bathroom, or let's push short over on B. There's someone waiting across the board. A very, very patient play from Fnatic is what you expect. But it does sort of tie your hands on that defense that you just kind of have to wait and be very patient to not burn up too much utility in that early round.
This is now more of the ruse we expected. Crashy's throwing in those prowlers on one side of the map, trying to bait rotations, leaving. Well, now 2 players there, as it does start to come in for Yumpy. Bear in mind, still having utility to deny them. But more importantly, they managed to drop that spike. Bucky in position, but shooting the Boombot is lost. Showstopper being utilized. It's a dance with death, and Durka takes the kill. But the rotate back is still there. They still had left Crashies behind. However, Vitality did not full rotate.
No, Unfake stayed patient, and Profex even come back. They think Profex the tip of the spear. Little do they know, there's a dagger in the dark. Boaster, try as he might. He won't make it past Profex. Another round for Vitality. The scoreline stays close.
It almost goes back to the comms we were talking about earlier, where it felt like Yumpy was making doubly, triply sure that they hadn't just been baited into a false rotation. This round is almost the settlement of that. Like, okay, yeah, I'll rotate, I'll throw in salvos, we'll use a showstopper, we'll use pieces of utility, but then we hold, we keep 2 players on the other side of the map, and when Fnatic eventually go for that late rotation back, we will be there, we will be waiting. Second round. An important one. They had a Bucky. There were pieces missing, and well, Durka wanted to fight. I think that's 2 Sheriff headshots. Chronicle is 10 HP.
Yeah, he's had to flee. It's stuck in the back of this side. Even that nade could be deadly. He tries to run, but Crashies catches, and now Fnatic 4 versus 3 with a Viper's Pit down. They are well and truly favored, flipping the script on its head, and Vitality have to play the retake. They're close to some ults, but nothing that's going to help them. The thing they have got to clear that pit, though, is the dog on Unfake. I don't think they're going to use it.
Oh yeah, Boaster has a molly available. If that gets him a kill, that's orbital strike, so that they can't allow him to get a singular pick here. Crashies very much desperately low, but good use of the C's will allow him to escape, and that's now a showstopper available for Alpha here. Those ultimates were close on the other side, but he may not even need it. Just taking the raw firefight, leaving Unfake alone, and well, I don't know if you could hear that spike. I certainly can. It's getting faster and faster by the second. He needs to escape, but Crashies, what was that? 15 HP? Don't care.
Yeah, 0 stress down on that stage. He's all smiles and smirks. 4-2 for Fnatic. And with the state of the Vitality economy, it should well be a 5-2 start.
Did he hit the second one while blind?
I think so. Yeah, timeout's being called from Vitality. No surprise there, as this does feel like Fnatic's opportunity to run away with it. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Still can't tell. He just said, yeah, we don't really like the easy road. We like to go all the way through. We like to play all the rounds, all the maps. They'd like to get into a final first time, because at least then, oh sorry, second time. At least then you do get a couple of chances.
Oh, this it. A timeout from Vitality, and it leads into a very low buy, but one that still has potential. 3 bandits on your screen, alongside the classic for Yumpy, and a stinger on Chronicle. It's not the best of buys, but you can definitely see the idea. With Vitality having 4 players towards this B site, it has to be Durka to scare them away. His shadow has to be bigger than the man that stands to set it, and with 4 players right now just grouping up outside this angle, this would have to be a sensational performance for the Bandit to steal the round away. I don't think he's going to send them running, and I don't think he's going to get anything. Indeed, Alpha shuts him down. And now the retake with these weapons, well, that's certainly not where they're favored.
We saw it when they played together, that they would share the race duty. Oh, it's a double nade. I thought it was going to get 2. It was so close to taking down Unfake as well. The C's nade combo. Almost just ripped all their lives as they stand, but they still stand a little longer. I say a little longer because they're slowly being picked apart. This is quite an audacious angle from Alpha, yeah, but it just shows the faith he has in his teammates to, well, cover him off.
No need for risks, you'd imagine, but then I see Crashies with an Outlaw stepping into that angle, so no need for them, but it doesn't mean they won't come anyways. Chronicle steps forward, does more damage. Alpha's now running away, okay. But there won't be more orbs to claim for the man 1 away from a Viper's Pit. He'll have to find that in the next round, as the rest of the squad has left the site. They will allow him to go down to the spike. Almost hope they don't kill him there. If Vikash got that pick, that would have given a very valuable tool over to Vitality for the start of the next. Either way, they come in with 2 ults, one from a Viper's Pit, but a round very much needed for the defense. They called a timeout, not for the one we just saw, but for this buy round coming.
Yeah, this is the moment where you almost need to see the change for the side of Vitality. The fact is, again, like you look at Fnatic on these attack sides, it was a 9-3 attack when they faced off against Na'Vi, went all the way back to overtime where they eventually closed it, but we know they're good at the attack. The problem is, the later into the tournament it gets, the better they are at closing. The harder they are to defeat, and immediately we're going to see pressure put in onto Durka, and it's actually Chronicle to go. Durka was trying to flee the scene, and it's Chronicle that bites the bullet, or the rocket. You don't want to bite a rocket.
No, not when it's armed and flying towards you. For Chronicle, he's got the pit at least, but yeah, might not be the thing that recovers the round that they desperately need with his body on the cold, hard ground. Fnatic, 5 versus 4.
All missiles away.
They just have to hold the line. Great flash on backside. Orbital strike to buy time, and frankly, I don't know where Yumpy was going, but Profek, he set his sights on victory. And he's steaming towards it. A 4K already, and an ace denied, but a round's a round. A much-needed win from Vitality comes in unusual form.
I'm completely baffled as to how they get back into the round. Like, look, in my head,
insane.
In that moment, I'm thinking, okay, well, they have themselves the Armageddon. They can use that to clear an angle. And then I watch Yumpy try and run through the entirety of an orbital strike while completely blinded. Yeah, he's on the wrong end of it. And then this, just immediate 3 kills from Profek. Blink and you miss it, and somehow they're back in the round. But yeah, I feel like,
Come on, David!
That almost felt like a bit of a throw from the Fnatic side more than anything else.
To be fair, seeing that from Profek's perspective,
it was pretty
I would
sick.
say everyone there tried to trade.
Yeah.
Everyone there did the right thing. The guy's got the kill, I'll swing. You could just play passive and run time. Maybe the first domino shouldn't have fallen. But after that, just insane individual skill from Profek. And of all the times to land that, the Hail Mary play as the clock hits 0, and they landed a lifeline for Vitality, unfake with the opening. Profek there to send them into the lead with a 4v3. And now no need to play aggressive anymore.
Yeah, they've got 2 ults that can literally counter this plant completely, so there's not really any need to get over aggressive in this moment. Nightfall going to be utilized, and they're a little bit worried that they're going to be pushed. Instead of holding the ults in hand, they had to switch it up, and that's allowed for the plant to come through. As I said, I thought that was an easy moment for them. Still, though, they are in play.
That's it, they want to use it for the retake. Great flash, and Kayak and Alpha both find those picks, and now trouble brewing for Vitality. They make it to the site, but the setup from Fnatic is so patient as they wait. Flash primed and ready. Diffuser blinded, but he hasn't come off the defuse! Unreal! Balls of steel from Chronicle! But it gets them the round. Vitality 2 in a row that Fnatic have got to be salty to see slip.
If there's any man on that stage that Chronicle has full faith in, it's the one he won 2 trophies with. Trusted him to hold the line. I love the re-aggression from Fnatic. It was fantastic in that moment to get them back into the round. But yeah, as you said, just the gall of Chronicle to stick that all the way through. And after a 5-2 deficit, 2 rounds that you could argue there were good opportunities in that round, but never ended up happening.
Worst team in 4v5 situations. That's not the Fnatic that we know. 23.5% as well. Like you'd expect it obviously to be sub 50, but that 40 mark is usually what we're aiming for.
Yeah, I did say they were the best statistically in post plants, but they've just lost 2 back-to-back, so maybe the stats aren't everything.
Oh, TP behind in the bat play, but it's a little risky as Crashies stood that little bit further back. Kayak was taking point. Crashies cleaning up as the wraparound came in, and now Alpha on the other side of the map completely clears this B site. Beautiful round from Fnatic. And even as we see Chronicle, he's going searching for Crashies, waiting for that player to come back out of bathroom, but The rotate's already happened, and Vitality are late to the party.
Yeah, Alpha as well. Just he's been insane so far. Like the entries into the site have just been so problematic.
They're coming back.
They're closing in on him. Okay, around this corner.
Can you shoot, distract him? I'll come up behind.
I don't think he's here. Have you checked lamps?
Wait, and we're unlucky.
He must be in lamps.
Get a little save out of that situation now. And actually, Crash is coming back. He's filling back in the space that he gave to them just moments ago. Chronicle won't see him unless he goes very, very deep, and I think this will be just a tuck on the box for Crashies. Spike's about to go, round's about to end. 4 players left alive on Fnatic. 2 weapon save for Vitality, but well, good bounce back after the pause. 2 left to play for in the half. We could see this neck and neck. We could see a real opportunity for Vitality, or Fnatic could run away with these last 2.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like the play here was nice, but just Crashy's not pincered on quick enough. Like Unfake with the flash, it's that instant shot onto Yumpy, and then he's having to try and get his gun back out and react, and by that point he's no longer blind. It's just a good...
If we win the run and if Profeg is next to me, I'm gonna spam him his body.
The real tactics that we need to discuss. I'd love to see it.
Durka onto the operator. Still credits in the bank for Vitality in this round, but the next one would leave them in a little bit more trouble. And the reason we didn't see Crashies hunting in the last was they didn't have too much to spare. They've now built up those credits a little bit more, so an opportunity. And that's where Durka hits his shot. An opener, but this was not the play. Kayak is almost the lurk on the other side. The rest are looking to hit B.
Profeg gets sent back by the Prowler, and Alpha's waiting. A mistake as the wall goes up just a moment too late. And that second, split second as it was, gives Fnatic what they need. Pick, numbers equal, and the B site under threat. Utility sent through, won't delay as long as they'd hope. Boaster's safe to get that plan to the corner, and now it will be the retake that is put to the test. But once the smokes go down, that's Durka's opportunity. Op in hand, coming out from elbow. And it looked for a second like Boaster was going to give him the chance, give him the fight. They sit passive now.
Oh, flash in. Backash still holding on that corner. No ults, and Alfie has still been sat up top. Looking to try and go a little further, but it's Durka once again. The trade's back looking decent, putting it into a 2 versus 2, but the swing out from Backash leaves it onto one showstopper. A chance for Durka, needs to find his prey, and it's missed the mark. Not got deep enough. He will hit the shot eventually, but is there going to be enough time? I think he's just about got this one.
Yeah, he gets there in the end. 3.5 on it. Vitality finding their 5th. With 1 round left to play for in the half, and it comes down to an ultimate, a 1v1, and a big play out of Durka. But it was enough. The op, and it found the pick early on, but here the opportunity given to it by Alpha re-aggressing. I thought this ended it though.
Yeah.
From Vikash, really nice play, waiting for his opponent to push and then wide swinging, catching him off guard, but Durka with a 4K cleans it up. And again, a much needed round gets Vitality to 5. Neck and neck at half, still possible. And it all comes down to this.
Yeah, they've had a few moments now to get the blood pumping. Alpha yet, see you later. Spammed out immediately by Chronicle. And honestly, that's been the danger man. He's been the problem to try and fight against thus far. An unorthodox plant for Crash. He's just about going to survive. Fade back into the decay. But it's definitely not the norm in terms of plant positions.
Time ticking for Vitality, but the advantage there to play with. Orbital Strike clears a lot of nasty corners, but Vikash has again stepped up to the plate. A Viper's Pit available, but no chance to use it. It keeps going from up top, but the defuse already made it to half. Problems as now they need to swing, they need to stop it, and Profeg stands and waits, taking every battle. Vitality goes 6-6, blow to blow with Fnatic in the first half.
And insanely close back and forth, and so much more to come. Make sure you join us after the break.
Vitality's pick, they got destroyed, but now bringing the heat when it comes to Bind. About to mount their attack side though. This is where things could change. Again, for Fnatic, they have just looked so well put together, especially in that first map. Vitality have a lot of ground to cover in this series to get back all the way to Corrode.
Yeah, a lot of it has been on that attack side, though. That's where we have been seeing Fnatic do their best work, especially in these couple of maps. But then again, if it doesn't work on the defense, what you can do is just play the attack on your defense. They have already pushed all the way through showers. They are looking to come in on a hot flank. Now, it is being watched for, but does Unfake expect them this far? He does. And that's an important win in the early round. Does he expect the second? No.
He's so far back as well. Alpha had just started wrapping all the way around back towards that B side, so he gets the jump. And the numbers equalize. Smoke soon to fade. Is Durka going to stick around when it does, or is he backing out? Yeah, they're spamming through already, suspecting him to be here. I'm surprised.
Still got
He's still up so close, and yeah, okay, Nade's going to be thrown in. He backs off. Chronicle takes poster, and now the only problem is the fact that they can't be wrapped on. They still don't know where Alpha's gotten to or when he's going to strike. Durka, though, up close, keeps this favored Vikash, pulling it back. Alpha's now by his side, and they can make it to this spike, but the time is so desperately low. And with Salvo still to play with, that should seal the deal in favor of Vitality. A big pick, though, that could turn it into Fnatic's favor. Alpha got ahead of the problem. Realized another salvo could come, so he threw himself right into the mix, and my goodness, they've got a pistol as a result. That one looked dead in the water.
Yeah, for sure. Again, so many moments that you look at from the Vitality perspective, like the opening, okay, sure, it goes back in the other direction. The early aggression that they managed to have up close to slow them down even further, and then still hold on to that utility, but Alpha, yeah. And that has been the case throughout this map so far. Him and Vekash have been flying.
Correct me if I'm wrong, though. Yambi still had a salvo. If he pulled one down there off time, he would have won. But instead goes for the fight with his teammate. Maybe a little mistake. Maybe I misread, but I'm fairly certain he had two and sent one. Either way, for Vitality, a pistol that doesn't land in their favor. Fnatic now have a chance to run. All right, Alpha. All right. I thought maybe he'd at least give it a bullet or two to relax, to reset the spray, but no, okay, beautiful transfer, good damage done, and already dealing with a lot of the problems that Vitality could bring to the table here. Profex on 6 HP.
Oh, timing.
No ground.
Oh, never mind.
All right.
Just about got far enough around the corner. Getting anywhere near Kayak with this gun in hand is going to be very difficult. Not a lot to play with, of course, for Vitality, but
One enemy remaining.
it does feel like they could have been the ones with the weaponry in this round. And now Vekash on the hunt, looking for Unfake, and it will be the end zone flawless. As good as it gets on that defensive second round for Fnatic.
Yeah, it's a real thorn in the side as well. Again, looking back at that pistol, the fact that Alpha's able to have so much impact, not just with the flank kill to start, but then that late play, the double that kept them alive. This one, I mean, it's not much to say about it. It's an eco, and it goes the way ecos normally do. Some nice flashy shots, but digesting this for Vitality, it's got to be tough. Difficult pill to swallow indeed, that they're now trailing by 2, but the rifles come out. Thing is, in terms of the buy for Fnatic, it's not that bad. Spectre, if you haven't played this patch, you know, you might think that's a big weakness, but not anymore. It's in a pretty good state right now. And the rifles and the Outlaw to back it up. Fnatic won't pull many punches when it comes to this round.
Ooh, yeah, I'm just looking at Alpha here. How far does he go, or is he just waiting out the smoke? His teammate under serious pressure, so him winning a fight on the edge of the smoke could be everything. And, well, he's played Chronicle at his own game. A double molly trade, and, well, there you go. Yumbi finally realized the Chronicle's like, what are you shooting at me for? He's taken down Alpha here.
Oh, that was a decision as well. Look at the toxins on Vikash. He's got the 80 as we swap back to him. That means that the call was there. Drop the wall, let me get 2. And instead, the wall going down crumbles the play. Fnatic, still they can make this costly. Remember, they came in with weaknesses, and there's one. Unfake. A little lost in the sauce in the close corner. Spotted, dealt with, damage done to Yampi already. Get the round win, unlikely, but how costly can it be? Left to 2 already. Crashies with a chance to bleed their bank dry. The time already gone, but now with Crashies falling, at least 2 will survive for Vitality.
I feel like we're cutting to Chronicles cam. I don't know what I've just seen him do on the camera, but it was very, it was very interesting. It must have been hilarious from his point of view, though. Just have your own teammate turn around and start shooting at you, and yeah, I don't know what's going on there. There you go, just the spin around.
Well, it's not a bark.
Well, I'm not sure if it was.
I'm not quite sure what that was meant to be, but okay.
That is how I felt in the moment, honestly. He's nailed it. Showstopper immediately picked up. Althea has managed to get that ult fairly early. Kayak under pressure, but not wanting to give up the space. The flash didn't catch him. He's able to go back for a little more.
Again?
Still holding on to the space. He's got support. And they're not willing to give up that ground to Vitality.
Fake teleport.
Well, he is really and truly out of utility now. His last gate crash being sent. Now the util belt of Kayak dry. And it looks like he wants to go and just take that bit of information. Spots that they're still outside B, but immediate rotate. Kayak's going to the A site. It is the right call, but I thought seeing them there might make them think it was a pump fake, that they were coming in late, but instead, numbers are still going to be here. Opening pick, but one more man to deal with, and they don't know about Crashies either. This could be a big problem. A snake in the grass, but those shots a little too high.
Yeah, he's lost his life to unfake at the same time. Boaster already tagged a little low. They still have Showstopper. Maybe Kayak needs to do it all. Oh, Prophet down to just 7 HP. But the fact that he lives might be enough to question using that ultimate.
Last player standing.
Now surely for Alpha, he can get Profex super low, but looking the right way is going to be the problem. Okay, it's not going to be the problem. That was a headshot as well, so screw his HP. Dragging one more into a fight. Young Beast down halfway will be achieved, and a Showstopper in the back pocket if he wants it, but a guessing game of waves. Alpha, yeah! Another big round! And they're all on their feet this time. A standing ovation for the Red Bull clutch. Oh my God, he's having a game 22-7. But what is this?
I firmly believe this was impossible for anyone else. Like, just to even have the goal to go for it, he almost lost his life immediately, not looking the right way. Turns back around, reads exactly where Yumpy is, kills him off with the nade and the shot, and then with a split second to spare, flips on his old teammate.
I didn't even think he got the first. Wow. Okay. Well, Alpha's come to play here today, and so is Kayak. I mean, those are pistols, no shields, but it's still, it's got to feel like you're being beaten into the dust for Vitality. 10-7 down and finding yourself in that position in this manner. You were about to challenge Fnatic for the lead, about to put it neck and neck, about to push their economy out of the realms of feasibility for a buy, and then Alpha stands up like that, stands tall, and then here you get shut down by the initial fight.
Yeah, well, we saw earlier that they're not great at 4v5s. Maybe they're just much better at 1v5s. Or there's somewhere in there that the stat alludes, because in these clutch moments, I fear that it doesn't matter who's alive for Fnatic, they could still turn it around. The Vitality asking an awful lot. 30 seconds, 3 players with pistols, no ultimates online, and Althea's standing in their way. I can't think of anyone worse. He'll take 2 for his troubles, and for Profek, he's walking into death. Kayak waiting, 10 rounds on the board for Fnatic, and we question, will they still have the legs when it comes to the defensive side? It's looking pretty good.
Yeah. The fact that Althea won the 1v3 without using Showstopper means it's available coming into this round. Dimensional drift for Kayak as well, man. Fnatic looked like they were in danger. The red lights started to blink, but they sent their hero
He's not getting enough assists.
He is top 4 KD in the tournament, so when you add the assists in, a couple losers get brought into the mix,
He's only
but
got
Alpha's
3.
the real winner.
Yeah, look, he's only got 3.
It's hard to assist when you're killing everyone yourself, and I think that's why KDA is a trash stat, and KD shines through. Alpha looks unbelievable right now. He's having a great season. He's leading or in top 5 in almost every stat, and right here against some former teammates, he's hitting another level.
Oh. For Vitality,
Portal close.
that's both pauses gone. That was a last chance until OT to check in with the coaches. Kayak on the operator. It's a missed shot and not really an opportunity for Durka to pounce. In fact, though, Kayak is not worried about trying to keep this control. They're still going to commit the boombot on the other side, but he waits. He takes the shot anyway, looking for a little more. Kayak, well, he did it versus the Eco. He's doing it versus the buy. Pause. What pause? Only Chronicle stands. And this was meant to be the turning point. We spoke about 1vx scenarios. 1v5 needed.
Yeah, that's the problem when you take that little break, but nothing changes when we come back. Fnatic double digits. It's going to turn into 11, and for Vitality running out of time. You know, this is it's almost karma coming back to bite them again. I think for the folks that didn't quite catch it earlier on, we have the skirmish now where we decide who's going to be that team A, who's going to be team B.
Vitality won that at
2
least.
players sent forward, well, 2 people, 2 representatives sent forward. And yeah, Vitality did win, which must mean Pal did a lot better than all the other skirmishes, because he's been competing in all of them so far, right? They sent their coach. It was great that Fnatic did the same.
Yeah. Unless you watched it and Chronicle was there.
Yeah.
And the Milan did manage to get a few rounds, to be fair to him.
He did. Very good against the long-range judge.
Yeah, when Chronicle was jumping over the judge. But hey, I think it was Ginny saying it yesterday, the team that wins the skirmish more often than not loses the game. So evidently,
well,
he should have sent Pal.
Yeah. That stat is... it's going to get a little more convincing, perhaps, in a couple of rounds. See, coming into this, right, you've got that full economy invested. Vitality left with a couple hundred credits between them, 1,000 or so. But for Fnatic, they've got the credits, they've got the rifles, of course, but they've also got those ultimates to fall back on. Both teams do. But for Fnatic, they are the ones that are sitting on that finish line. They don't have to make the big play. They don't have to dump their ults in. Vitality might have to. They're the ones with the pressure on their shoulders. And it starts out with a big ult and a response from Alpha here. He's caught Durka mid-air. Alpha, the anti-air cannon, and Crashies holding down in bathroom, sending Vitality slipping further and further down that scoreboard. The round not done yet, but I wouldn't even be surprised if Vitality saved at this point.
It's kind of a screwed if you do, screw if you don't sort of scenario. You give them 12. As said, earlier in the tournament, when they were playing against like a foot or someone that maybe you consider a bit of a weaker opponent, Fnatic took their foot off the gas. I can tell you for free, it's not going to be happening in this series, even though Alpha get an uncharacteristic whiff. It's not going to last very long. Boaster, he hasn't had to get too many kills so far. He's crazy on the assist, though. It will be 12-7. A chance to keep that stat going of beating them again and again and again and again and again and again and again. And Vitality, well, there's one man that they haven't been able to steal. That man's leading the pack.
Yeah, I think he might be locked down by whatever salary he can think of.
Well,
At this point, he better be.
He'll either be Fnatic or his roommate, one of the two.
Well, 5 rounds in a row for Vitality, an OT and a map 3. That's what they need.
Durka's turn.
To rewrite history, to defeat Fnatic for the first time in Valorant's history. We often talk about partnership because they were scrappy days in the olden days, but no. Vitality have never found success against this squad, and it may be set to happen again. Durka finding one, but Kayak's hot on his heels with the Durka's just about made it away.
Viper's pit in play. Orbital strike used to try and force them out of Lamb. Sunfake getting ready to pop out on the other side, and he will manage to deal a death blow. He's being spammed out though by Vekaj. His second kill of the round Time, though,
strike.
has been ticking for a while. And as you said, they are throwing everything at this. All the tools in their wheelhouse. Vekaj has managed to find Chronicle. That's now the defusal halfway done. They actually have a little bit of time. It has to be someone a little bit healthier. Boaster is going to go down. And now, unfortunately, there is nobody left standing. The Red Bull clutch will come through. But as said, Vitality had to throw the lot.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they very much did. It is the old Revenge of the Sith. They threw the kitchen sink at him. Desperate times and desperate measures, but measuring their success from this point forward is the
If
key.
a healthier player did that, they might have lost.
It doesn't
It would have been very close. It
yeah,
would have been very
for sure,
close.
For sure. Yeah. 4 rounds in it, but those ultis expanded on both sides. He's looking
too good.
Wouldn't you be? 4 rounds now. Ultis are dry. It comes down to round-to-round play. Yumpy has a classic. I'm missing something. Why does Yumpy have a where's the gun? It's dropped somewhere?
Navero? Is that you?
2.1K on Durka. Why does Yumpy have... What are we doing here?
Like, I've seen bundle promotion, but this takes it to a next level. Timing is going to be everything. Like, the worst thing is they won't even know the second player is there. That one's for free, and now a nasty surprise for Chronicle. So many gaps being left in the behind of Vitality. And well, those are going to sting in the morning, I'll tell you that.
Oh, Crashies with another.
Down A.
This is now Vitality on their last legs, but they won't crumble. Not if Durka has something to say about it. 50 seconds. Alpha on the other side, dominated in so many fights. He gives a chance and Durka takes it. A 1v1. Crashies, the man leading the charge in the last map. And now he stands against the man who used to wave this very same banner with 35 seconds and the spike under his control. A C's still to play with, and post-plant he could even have a reveal. No pressure for Crashies, and he plays it cool. Down goes Durka, down goes Vitality in a landslide victory.